transfer news and some significant Jadon Sancho news from somebody that's tier 1. I know we're getting a little bit bored about this, but this is from Fabrizio Romano, and it's very, very positive news if you are feeling confident about a Jadon Sancho deal. Welcome to the United. But I tell you what, it's probably going to send Manchester United and the British press into somersaults again, because he's gone and done what he did at the start of August. I mean, look, he's basically saying that Jadon Sancho is not the problem. The personal terms, the agent fees are not the problem. They are in place. An agreement is in place. Jadon Sancho is buzzing to come to Manchester United, and the issue is the deal. Now, this feeds into, I think Christian Falk has hinted at this on various podcasts, maybe even Jan Arge Fjortoft, that this constant discussion about the wages and the agent fees being the problem when they are not the problem is this Manchester United trying to find a route out of the deal. Because, you know what? Fabrizio Romano did say at the start of August that Manchester United personal terms are not a problem with Jadon Sancho, that he wants to come to Manchester United, that the agent fees and the personal terms, they're not a problem, and the problem is the deal with Dortmund because they want 120 million euros. That basically caused a lot of problems, especially in the British press. Almost, I mean, there was rumours that Manchester United briefed the press to say that, you know, it's not that close and that there is issues with the wages and the agent fee. And this is a story that just keeps getting regurgitated all the time, especially from the British press. But Fabrizio Romano has come out again today and said what he said a month ago, that the personal terms and the agent fees are not the problem. And this, I mean, look, ultimately, just get the deal done. Because if you get the deal done, who gives a toss about wages and agent fees? But whilst the deal's not done, it just wedges a big divide, because you're basically forced to believe what's coming out maybe of the club, but certainly the British press, and what's coming out of Fabrizio Romano, and it's a very different story. One side is saying that the agent fees and the wages of Jadon Sancho are holding it up. The other side saying it's not and it never has done. The issue is the structure of the deal, 120 million euros. So it's very, very interesting, and it just, to me, puts the focus back where it needs to be, which is that the hold-up appears to be getting this deal done between Manchester United and Dortmund, which is a real positive. Now, I must shout out the fact that this update from Fabrizio, which is not really much of an update on Sancho because he said it a month ago, but it's just refreshing it and explaining the situation. Fabrizio Romano has started his own podcast now. It's through Patreon. It's called Here We Go. We've obviously the United Stand. We've had him on the channel. We've subscribed to it, so you can get that through his Twitter page. He talks, it's about an hour long. I'm sure it's a great listen. And fortunately, the Sancho stuff's quite near the start, and I think for that reason, so many quotes are now already on Twitter. But I must just say, we have subscribed to his Patreon podcast, and I would urge you to do it as well, because it is a little bit annoying for him when he's doing, when it's behind a paywall. And whether it should be behind a paywall or not, no comment. We don't put ours behind a paywall, of course. But then again, Fabrizio Romano is a hard-working Tier 1 journalist. But other things that are coming out from this, Jadon Sancho is not going to go on strike. This is from United Report. Jadon Sancho is not going to go on strike at Borussia Dortmund. He's happy. But if Man United pay the 120 million euros, then he's ready to join Manchester United with no problems. This is from the Here We Go podcast as well. He's ready and buzzing to join Manchester United. He decided a month ago to talk about this opportunity. The problem is not the personal terms or the agent fees, Fabrizio Romano from his podcast. So we knew this update was coming. I said this on the morning show. You can be as bored about it or as excited about it as you want, but I said Fabrizio, he tweeted last night that he was going to put out an update. He's done that through his podcast, and it is significant because whatever you think about transfers, whatever you're bored about, this is Fabrizio Romano, Tier 1 journalist when it comes to transfers, talking about what will be our biggest signing of the summer and giving you clear detail on where this is according to him. And I must say that this is according to Fabrizio Romano, that Manchester United have agreed personal terms with Sancho and his agent, that they are not the problem, that Sancho is buzzing to come to Manchester United, and the problem is the fee. Now, how do you now let's take that for a minute. Please smash a like on the video, subscribe if you are new. We've got a super chat already. Mark, it's my birthday today, says Dan Kelly. Love the show. Been watching since the days of Alex and his cursed shirt numbers. Also, shout out to Connor and also Abby, who is the best goalkeeper in Ireland. Thank you very much, Dan Kelly. Now, let's take this beyond. Let's take this beyond this now, because this is what we do in this community, on the United Stand community. So, for the last month, we've been very much hearing that the hold up with this deal is Sancho's agent and wage fees. Fabrizio said a month ago that wasn't the problem, but a lot of people have said that it is. People have even said that Fabrizio's not telling the truth. You know, people I respect. British journalists, people we've had on the show. Fabrizio has clarified that today. He hasn't said I made a mistake. He hasn't said that, I got it wrong, but now I've got it right. He has said the personal terms are not a problem and the agent fees are not a problem and that Jadon Sancho is buzzing to come to Manchester United. So Fabrizio Romano has clarified again his point from a month ago, and he is saying that. What's going on here then? What's going on from here? What's going on here? Well, what's going on here is Fabrizio Romano has clarified his position for the second time. He in his mind, he is right. How is he right? Fabrizio Romano gets information from players, lawyers, and agents, as well as clubs. So Fabrizio Romano has got his information from somebody very close to that deal. It could be Jadon Sancho's agent. It could be Borussia Dortmund. Whoever it is, he will be well sourced because that's the sort of guy he is. So Fabrizio Romano has come out and said that today on his podcast because he knows that his information is correct and that Sancho's wages and his agent fees are not the issue on this deal. So so that's the now, and that's where it's come from. So what happens next? What happens next is Manchester United can continue down the route of it is the wages and it is the agent fees. And look, I know we all want to believe Fabrizio, but look, there's always two sides to a story. Manchester United can continue down that route, that the problem is the fee and the agent and everything like that. Or they need to find a way to get this deal done very quickly, because as I've said many times, I don't see a way out of this deal. I don't see a way out of this deal for United without them looking absolutely ridiculous. You've got a player that is buzzing to come to this football club. You have got a negotiation that's been going on for a very long time that everybody knows we've been negotiating about. So you're going to walk away from a player that's desperate to come to the club and a deal that you've worked on all summer, that everybody knows your priority, and you're going to walk away because you don't want to pay the money that Dortmund want. I don't see a way out. I don't see a way out of that. So I think United are going to have to get that checkbook out and get this deal done. And you know what? It's beyond that. Get the deal done because it's exactly the sort of signing we need to do. But not just because he's been on the channel, because I know he goes on other outlets. Fabrizio Romano is not exclusive to the United Stand at all. He is his own enigma. But I'm so grateful that he's come out and done this today, because I feel that this deal has got lost over the last few weeks. I think some people really feel that it's nowhere near happening. Some people think, it's never going to happen. And I think what Fabrizio Romano's done today, with the weight of credibility that he has, is he's come out and put us right back where we were at the start of August, that this deal is so close you can touch it. United just need to pay the bloody money. And that's where we were a month ago. Welcome to Noah Merrill, latest member of the United Stand Members Club. Really appreciate that. Thanks for joining, Noah. You'll get your badge next to your name. Mark, I read Sancho has some bonuses from Dortmund due if transfer happens too soon. Is that correct? Says James Howell. Well, that's not been mentioned by Fabrizio Romano, and I think if it was, it would be. Can you clarify a doubt? Why would a club agree personal terms with a player if they were not confident a deal could be done with the other team, says Vibor. Well, Fabrizio Romano himself tweeted out this morning that Barcelona have agreed terms with Memphis Depay, but they've not agreed a deal with Lyon yet. So this is what happens in transfers. You approach the player. You find out whether the player wants to come to your club. And look, it's not me. It's not like me going, Jay David, do you want to come to Manchester United? And him going, yes. Because what might happen then is I agree a fee with Lyon, and then I go to Jay and say, you come in. He goes, what's my wages? It's this. Oh, I'm not agreeing that. So agreeing that a player wants to come is agreeing wages and agent fees and everything like that. And then you go and negotiate with the club. Mark, on a video of the 4th of August, you said Man United and Dortmund reached an agreement and Sancho will be announced in a few days. What happened then? This is Jay David. Well, that was the expectation at the time. That was the expectation at the time. And if I remember correctly, it was around the 4th of August that Fabrizio Romano said what he said today, that personal terms and everything are done, and it's now about finalising this deal. And I think at that time, correct me if I'm wrong, that was what Romano said as well. But remember, around that time, I think The Guardian said that Ed Woodward or somebody went back and tried to renegotiate the deal. So I don't know. I don't know what happened at the start of August. We all lived it. We all thought it was going to... Well, a lot of us were predicting Friday the 7th of August for him to sign. It's very easy to sit here on the 9th of September and go, oh, wow, you said this at the start of August, but don't act like your farts don't smell. You were all there at the start of August, you know, expecting it to happen at the start of August. I think everybody thought it was going to happen at the start of August. Who knows why it didn't happen at the start of August? But the story's been reiterated again, as it was at the start of August and as it is now, that personal terms and everything like that have never been the issue here. The issue is the fee. And who knows why United are still taking their time over the fee? Who knows? I don't know. I don't have that information. Mark, so we've answered that. Hi, Mark. Has Pogba been stalling his new contract? What's this news about? Says Karen. I'm not really interested in Paul Pogba's contract, to be honest, because that's something that can happen when we're out the transfer window. I don't want United to get Mino Raiola over and spend 2 weeks negotiating Paul Pogba's new super mega rich contract. We can do that in October. Let's focus on the transfer window now. So I'm not bothered about what's happening with that. What next? What's next? So Memphis Depay is going to go to Barcelona. Some people think that this means we're going to get money. We don't have a buyback clause with Memphis Depay. We don't have a percentage of the sell-on fee. We had a first refusal. Wilfried Zaha, if Crystal Palace sell him, we get 25% of the transfer fee. Memphis Depay, we get first refusal. So basically, we've refused. Because if he's going to Barcelona, we have refused. We had a first refusal on that deal, which means that if Lyon accept an offer for somebody, we get to match it. But obviously Memphis has got to want to come to United and we've got to be interested. We're not interested. So the first refusal is irrelevant because we don't want Memphis Depay, so he'll go to Barcelona. Agents brief him to be quiet. 120 million benefits them, says Rahul Matthew. And Mark, let's face facts. We have no ambition, says Kenneth Gearing. Well, look, let's give both sides of the story. This update that's coming out doesn't mean that United are going to definitely sign Jadon Sancho. I'm Mr. 90%. You know, I'm confident it's going to happen. I'm happy with this update today because, you know, I respect Fabrizio Romano. I love the fact that he's standing by what he said at the start of August and now saying it at the start of September. I think it's going to be very interesting how Manchester United react because they definitely reacted last time. I expect things to come out from the British press. Maybe Simon Stone, maybe the Manchester Evening News, James Ducker, Simon Peach. Will there be another update from them like there was after the last time this was said? Where are we at? And it's confusing. It's frustrating. You know, we are not, as the United stand or as Manchester United fans, we're not driving this. We're in the middle of this. And the club need to realise that. We're not driving this. You've got Fabrizio Romano coming out again saying that personal terms and agent fees are not the problem and that they are agreed. And then you've got British press saying they are the problem. What are we supposed to do as fans? You've got to pick a side. You've got one story, you've got another story. And I'm sorry, Fabrizio Romano over the recent years has proven himself to be the guru on transfers. So, you know, some people, the majority of people I would say, are going to side with him. What we need is some bloody clarity on this deal. And the only clarity we're going to get is the deal being done. Unless United want to walk away from it. And I tell you what, you reap the whirlwind if you walk away from this deal. Because I and many others will not be happy. And whether it's justifiable or not, I will not be happy. Because 120 million euros for Jadon Sancho, yes, it's the biggest deal of the summer. Yes, we've got COVID-19, but, you know, 120 million, we're not buying 5 or 6 players like Chelsea. We're buying a superstar player, a statement signing, and I'm pretty sure Dortmund are happy to structure that deal as well so that you don't end up paying 120 million euros outright. So, you know, let's just get on with it. Seems like it's the same old stuff with the Sancho deal. When will the deal start to actually progress, as Jerome T. Green? Well, I actually feel that it has progressed, Jerome. I think it has progressed because, as I said, I think we were at this point at the start of August, and then I think the waters were muddied by no, Fabrizio's wrong. There is no personal terms agreed. There is no agent fees agreed. And everything became boring and murky and repetitive. But here we are now on September the 9th, and Fabrizio has said it again, and he's obviously getting it from people very close to the deal. So are United going to muddy the waters again, or the British press going to muddy the waters again, or or are we actually just going to progress this deal? I've said for a while that as soon as Sancho's not playing for England, and he's not, what's the delay now? Is it coincidence that the day after Sancho's no longer with England, we get this big update? And look, maybe Fabrizio Romano has been nudged by information to put this information out today to start getting things moving. Maybe Jadon Sancho doesn't want to go back to Dortmund training and wants to get his career at Manchester United moving. Maybe Fabrizio Romano's received information from Jadon Sancho's camp to put it out again that they're not the problem, so that people like ourselves start going, come on United, get on with it. Is that a coincidence on the day after he's basically free to do the deal now? So, you've got to make your own mind up. Thank you for that, Jerome T. Green. And Mark, I mostly agree with what you say and hope Sancho comes out, but if the Glazers don't want to pay, they won't. It's up to them. What happens if they don't? Paulus, if they don't, then, they're probably going to put themselves back in the area where they were in January. And I'm not saying, attacking Ed Woodward's house. That was disgusting. But an unhappy fan base, I mean, look, of course I know United can walk away from this. We're powerless to stop United walking away. We're powerless. I've seen that. I didn't want us to sign Fellaini and we bloody did it. So, of course Manchester United can walk away. Of course they can. But do you really think it's advisable to walk away from a deal like this when you've got the potential that you're going to bring Josh King in and David Brooks? And what people don't want to listen to is this. If we start next season without Jadon Sancho and we start it with crappy Douglas Costa on loan or something like that, we will go into this season knowing categorically, without reservation and total fact, that Jadon Sancho wanted to come to this club, and we spent a significant amount of time getting that deal done and then didn't do it. That's hard, because we've missed out on players in the past. I remember us trying to get Eden Hazard, he went to Chelsea. Ronaldinho, and we didn't get him. So we've missed out on players who choose somebody else. But to miss out on a player that wants to come here over a few, over negotiations, I think it'd be a very hard thing for fans to swallow. And Little Troll says, if Jadon Sancho is desperate to come to United, why did he extend his contract? Well, he extended his contract a year ago, mate. Time moves on, We need better negotiations in our club, not to mention progressive owners. Look, I know Manchester United don't want to pay 120 million euros for Jadon Sancho. I get that, and I'd also say that I don't think United want to pay 120 million euros even last year or next year when there is no COVID. I don't think COVID-19 actually is a factor in this. United don't like to spend money. The Glazers don't like to spend money. But if they've got football people within that club, and I'm sure Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will be saying this, he is worth 120 million euro. In today's market, he's worth 120 million euro. And why I would say that is, don't compare him to Kai Havertz, who went for 70 million euro. You can't compare him, because Kai Havertz is coming in from Bayer Leverkusen and he is German. Jadon Sancho is coming from Borussia Dortmund and he is English. The dynamics of Dortmund and Leverkusen are very different. Dortmund have got a big reputation of selling players at very big prices. Leverkusen don't. On top of that, English players cost more than European players. So don't compare Jadon Sancho's 120 million euro and start saying, it's ridiculous, we should walk away. Because that's music to the Glazers' ears. We shouldn't walk away. It's a fair price. Last summer, we spent £80 million on Harry Maguire and £50 million on Aaron Wan-Bissaka. 120 million euros is about 108 million pounds. You are spending 30 million more than you spent on Harry Maguire to get a 20-year-old attacker who is one of the best of his age in the world. This is not an expensive deal. when you actually add things up together. The issue is people want to compare it to Havertz. They want to compare it to Werner when it was a release clause for him. He is a Dortmund player and he is English. The price is right. Welcome to the Members Club, Sudip. Thank you for joining. I'd love United to sign a quality backup attacker like Benrahma or Grady to put pressure on the front three. DJ needs a loan, says Ollie Chadwick. And I've blocked Duncan Castles, says Pete Squire. That's a bit harsh. I don't trust him. He's an anti-Man United agenda. Fabrizio is the man. To be honest, Sancho is a bit overpriced, worth 90 million at most, but we don't care. Let's just get it done this summer, says Pete Squire. And Amy says, how do you rate this window, Mark? I felt a left centre-back was absolutely important. With a left-back, Van der Beek and Sancho, this is only a 6 out of 10 window for me. You know what? I agree with you. I do agree with you. I'm disappointed. I tweeted it this morning. I'm disappointed that we haven't got a left-back, a left centre-back. But you know what? For me, I have said it as well, that if we get Jadon Sancho, it's a good transfer window. We've already got Donny van der Beek. So it's a good window, but it hasn't completed everything that it needed to complete. I'll tell you what I did find interesting about a striker. Victor Osimhen's brother, the Lille striker who went to Napoli, his brother has come out and said that Osimhen rejected Manchester United out of respect for Odion Ighalo, because Odion Ighalo is a great goal scorer for Nigeria. Obviously, Victor Osimhen is Nigerian, and he didn't want to come in and stop Ighalo from playing. I'd file this story under bullshit, but I thought I'd just tell you because I don't actually think Manchester United were in for Victor Osimhen, to be honest with you. I think there's one thing that you're ignoring. Dortmund might actually want the full 120 million up front, says Devon Foster. I don't think they will. I don't think they will. That's not what I was told at the start of August. I was told that the deal was it the 80 2020? 80 million this year, 20 million next year, 20 million after? I don't believe those exact figures were right, but I do think there was a willingness from Dortmund to do a structured deal. I think the problem was United were talking about add-ons. I mean, I'm going back into history now. This was a month ago, but, Fabrizio took us back there because he's saying the situation hasn't changed. So there was a rumour going around that United wanted to pay 80 and then the rest in add-ons. Add-ons are performance-related. I can understand why United would want that, but Dortmund want 120 million euro. They want it absolutely nailed down. We're getting 120 million euro. Because the problem with add-ons is you could say, well, yeah, if Sancho scores this many goals, you'll get 120 million euro, and that'll probably happen. But what if Sancho breaks his leg and then never plays again? They still only get 80 million. So Dortmund want 120 million. That's what they want. Anyway, look, thanks everyone for watching. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. That is your update. Fabrizio Romano confirming again that personal terms and agent fees have been agreed and they are fine, and that Sancho is buzzing to come to United. The issue, as it was a month ago, is actually agreeing a fee with Dortmund. So we've had progression. We've had clarity. We are here. Now let's wait and see what comes from the British press, because United were not happy about this at the start of August. And there was a briefing that went out with all the British journalists. How are they going to react to it this time? Or are they actually just going to go and get the deal done, and then none of this really matters? Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you're new, and smash a like on the video.